families. So I wanted to do a video for you guys on organizing your fridge. So I wanted to show you what the inside of mine looks like because mine would be pretty similar to how you might organize a fridge for a blind or visually impaired kiddo. I, for my personal children, try to keep their snacks where they can reach them so I don't have to be constantly getting in the fridge to help them. So I keep all of the ready to eat foods. These are Go-Gurts in here, and I've separated them by flavor, both in 2 different compartments, but there's 4 flavors, so each compartment has a divider in it, and I just use the side of the Go-Gurt box to divide my flavors. So it would be really easy to be able to divide those flavors for your blind or visually impaired kiddo. And either braille or teach them, have them memorize what each flavor is. And then I keep my eggs down here in the back, but then I keep the string cheese in the front that they can easily access. I've separated mine out between the mozzarella string cheese and the Colby Jack string cheese so that they can be able to easily grab whichever one they want. And this would again be another easy way to separate and either memorize or label these for your kiddo. I keep my ready-to-eat produce that needs to be refrigerated in one section, and I have a couple different size containers. I have a little one for avocado. This bigger square one is for celery, and then this round one is for carrots, so they can easily identify which is which. If you don't have separate different size containers at your house, you can keep them in the same container. You can either label them with a braille label, or it's real easy for your kiddo to just open it up and give it a smell, because most vegetables have a pretty distinctive odor. Celery and carrots have pretty distinctive smells. So we have some soda in the fridge, and these bottles feel exactly the same. So it is really difficult for your kiddo who's blind or visually impaired to be able to tell them apart. But on the root beer, I have added a rubber band to be able to identify which one those are. You could also separate them into different places in the fridge, or be able to keep them in the same little divider tray. Those are all really easy and acceptable ways for your kiddo to be able to access whatever they need. I keep my leftovers always in the same spot all the time so that my kiddos can know right where they are, and that's a really easy way for your blind or visually impaired kiddo to know exactly what they're dealing with. So under here I have some of my dairy products, and my whipped cream cheese and my sour cream are the exact same size container. They feel exactly the same way. So I have added a rubber band to the sour cream, but I did not to the cream cheese. So, and my cottage cheese and my yogurt are in very similar containers, very similar sizes and weights. And for my yogurt, I've added a rubber band to be able to identify the difference between these 2. So I've kind of tried to stick with adding rubber bands to my containers. If there is an R sound in the container, I've added a rubber band to that. It just makes it a little bit easier to identify with the rubber and then the R sound and whatever the word is. So my top drawer, I keep my lunch meats and my cheeses, more cheeses that I would probably cook with or add to a sandwich instead of my ready-to-eat string cheese. So up here I have my food prep for the upcoming week. So typically my kiddos aren't up here to grab stuff. I do keep my bread up here because I have one kiddo that will make a peanut butter sandwich any time of the day or night. So I want to make that a little bit less accessible to that kiddo. And then I keep my meat that either I'm going to use for the week or is thawing in the top of the fridge, separated in a way for them so that they don't accidentally cross-contaminate or get into that. So in the door of my fridge, I've kind of separated some of my foods into categories. So this is stuff that I typically cook with that my kiddos aren't usually into. These are items that we would apply to a sandwich. These are things that you might find in the world food section of your grocery store, like salsa and sriracha and taco sauce. But here I have salad dressings and, of course, my favorite, chocolate syrup. So that's all in one section. I do have 2 bottles that feel exactly the same, so I've added a rubber band to one. These are, again, another item that you can open up and give a little smell to be able to pretty easily identify which one is which. So then in the bottom drawer, I don't think my kids are hardly ever in here for anything besides the milk. But being able to identify some of these bottles just by shape. Lemon juice has a pretty distinctive shape, barbecue sauce, maple syrup, spaghetti sauce. All those things kind of have a pretty distinctive shape to be able to help your kiddos identify which is which. So those are just some of the organizational tricks that you can use to help organize your fridge for your kiddos. It's just, maintaining that organization, separating some items, making categories, and just continuing to maintain that organization. So I hope you guys find that helpful. Thanks.